Hello, welcome back to another episode here on the King's Table. My name is Michael. If you're new, welcome. Hope you're having a good day. We got a quick and sweet little message here from First Thessalonians. Paul writing to the Thessalonians. We're going to find ourselves in chapter 4, verse 10b through 11. It says, "But we urge you, brothers, to do this more and more, and to aspire to live quietly, and to mind your own affairs, and to work with your hands as we instructed you, so that you may walk properly before outsiders and be dependent on no one." I've heard this said, work quietly, or work with your hands and live a quiet life is a very short and sweet way to think about it. And I've been challenged by that a lot because being somebody on the internet and doing videos for as long as I have, it doesn't seem like it's quiet. But I think a lot of the quietness involves our minds and what we kind of pursue. It's very easy now. And like, man, this is crazy to think about when this was written. There was no technology. There was no electronics. There was no way to access the gossip of someone 100 miles away unless you went there or somebody walked and told you or rode a horse. Now I can get on my phone and see what somebody across the country is arguing about with somebody else across from their country. And this verse rings so much more true nowadays than I think it did then, or at least I would say now it's more difficult because of our access to things that aren't quiet, our access to people that are not in our community. You know, the internet is a great place because I would love for y'all to comment down below where you're from, because that's cool. That's awesome that because of the internet, I'm able to talk and share things with you, and hopefully it makes a positive impact on your life. But we have to be careful with that. It is a good thing because we're able to share and spread the gospel on the internet. And I would say that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people have been able to grow closer to the Lord, let alone meet the Lord because of the internet. But in that same vein, I believe there are a lot of people who once believed, and I guess the question would be like, did they truly believe if they end up deconstructing and falling away? Because the Bible talks about that as well. Like, man, if you really know the Lord, I don't believe that it's possible to deconstruct and then be like, nah, he's not real. I would challenge that and say, well, then you probably never knew him. You probably never had a genuine relationship with him. Is it possible for there to be times in your life where maybe you're not pursuing him, or there's doubts because of hurt or difficulties? Yeah, sure. But I would say that if you truly know the Lord, if you have the Spirit in you, it's not going to go away. And so I love the internet, but it makes it very difficult to live a quiet life, like it's saying here. And I just want to challenge you guys. If you've never gotten rid of social media, you should try it. And that means you can't watch these videos. That's okay. For me, I don't have Instagram anymore. I don't get on Twitter. I don't have TikTok. I have YouTube, and that's it. And even sometimes YouTube does not make my life quiet because I'll watch shorts or things like that. And I find myself 20 minutes into it like, whoa, where did those 20 minutes go? And that time could have been used to work with my hands or to spend time with my family, whatever. So I just want to challenge you guys today to try and pursue a quiet life. Invest in those around you. Invest in people who lift you up, and then also mentor where possible. Like, I'm not saying don't be involved with non-believers. Jesus was always with them, but he was intentional in his time with them always. It wasn't wasted or like, don't be unequally yoked. You know, he talks about that with marriage, and then don't sit at seats with mockers. Like, you have to be careful of the company that you keep and all that kind of stuff. But for Jesus, he was in the company that a lot of times poisons Christians, but he was able to bring the light into that. I am rambling. Like I said, I wasn't going to do. This is ridiculous. This is what I always do. So, want to just encourage you. Live a quiet life. Try and live a quiet life. For me, that means when I'm done with work, I'm done with work. I'm not downstairs on my phone. I'm not playing games, which I struggle with. I love playing games. But for me, like, they don't allow my mind to be quiet if I play my games outside of the office. My mind is running. And if I get stressed with a game, then, whoa, this is kind of crazy. If I get stressed out with a game, I become loud. I become frustrated. My mind becomes loud. My emotions become loud. My heart rate becomes loud. I can allow frustrations to create loudness in my brain. And so living a quiet life challenges that. And then he also says to work with your hands. Obviously, everybody aren't farmers now. We all can go to the grocery store and buy our own food. When in the past, when this was written, a lot of people grew their own stuff, or they would be in communities where they would all work and plow and have to build their houses and things like that. So it's different now, but we're still called to work, whether that's at a computer or wherever, but also work with your hands outside. Go chop some wood and make a fire. Sit outside. If you live in an apartment, find some ways to, like, I don't know, go to a park and clean up some stuff, pick up things, work with your hands. There is something that is designed by God that is rewarding when it comes to, like, taking care and doing with our hands, because for the longest time that was all that there was for work. It was working with your hands. It was building things. It was cultivating crops. It was all of that kind of stuff. And so I just want to encourage you guys to do that as well. I'm going to read some stuff here from Enduring Word. Really like what they say here, and it's just encouraging to me. But it says, the quiet life contradicts the hugely successful modern attraction to entertainment and excitement. The addiction to entertainment and excitement is damaging both spiritually and culturally. We might say that excitement and entertainment are like a religion for many people today. I think that is so true, man. Especially like over the last couple of years, especially with the election season and things. Golly, the internet, TikTok, all of that felt like a religion, man, to where people like defended their beliefs in such an unloving and unkind way on both sides of the spectrum. Even Christians, a lot of times, defending their faith in a way that doesn't represent Christ, where they might say the correct things, but they say it in an unloving manner. And that's something that I can struggle with as well when it comes to that kind of thing. But I mean, I just think this is so crazy. And then working with your hands, we must recognize the dignity and honor of work. Work is God's plan for the progress of society and the church. We fall into Satan's snare when we expect things to always come easily. Woo! Or regard God's blessing as an opportunity for laziness. Oh, come on. Manual labor was despised by ancient Greek culture. They thought that the better man was, the less he would work. In contrast, God gave us a carpenter king. Jesus was a carpenter. He worked with his hands. Fishermen, apostles, which is like crazy the way that fishing was back then. They didn't have rod and reel like we do nowadays. And tent-making missionaries. There is nothing more disgraceful than an idle, good-for-nothing who is of no use either to himself or to others and seems to have been born merely to eat and drink. I'm not sure this guy's first name, but his last name is Clark. So I just want to challenge you guys, because I struggle with this a lot as my camera chooses to focus on something else. I struggle with idleness a lot, especially playing video games for a living. It can be very easy for me to just fall in a rut of where I'm just playing games and that isn't producing anything. And I disguise it in my mind as, oh, I'm getting better at the game so that I can make good videos. It's like, I mean, to a certain extent, that might be true if something new comes out. But there's a lot of idleness in me when it comes to work, especially as I've become less popular on YouTube. It's very, very easy to sulk and to be lazy and expect things to come easily because they once did. So yeah, I think I rambled enough. Love you guys. Hope that this was encouraging. Live a quiet life. Work with your hands. See you.